Hello, everyone. How are we all doing? It is Wednesday evening for most of us. Maybe for some of us, it's Wednesday morning, or maybe it's Thursday morning. Thursday morning, or maybe it's Wednesday afternoon, or Thursday evening, or after. I don't know. But hello, welcome to our WikiTree challenge wrap up and kickoff for Ellen. So, just to start off, we'll introduce everybody who's here. So we have myself, Sarah, and Aowen. We are WikiTree team members. And right next to Aowen, we have Mindy, who is the overall WikiTree challenge coordinator. Below me, we have Lucy, who is Ellen's team captain, which we will be kicking off after this live stream. Then we have Ellen, who we will be introducing later, but that is Ellen, our next WikiTree Challenge genealogy guest. Next to Ellen, we have Emma, Dallan's challenge captain, and then we have Dallan, who we're about to blow away with all of our wonderful findings. But first, maybe you're just tuning in. You have no idea what WikiTree is, who are we, what do we do, what is it? And I think Aowen would like to tell us all about it.
Yes, I would. WikiTree is a community of genealogists who are working together on a single family tree. Unlike a lot of other genealogy sites where you build your tree and I build my tree and we never talk to each other despite sharing several deep ancestors, on WikiTree, when we get to a common ancestor, we work together to find information, share sources, add photos, tell stories, and resolve any discrepancies that might be there. So, in other words, we collaborate to grow an accurate single-family tree that connects all of us. And my favorite part is it's totally free.
Free. Yay! Everybody here, I believe, at least on this stream, and maybe hopefully everybody who's watching loves WikiTree. I like to think so. I love WikiTree.
I love WikiTree.
So then we have the WikiTree Challenge, which is our year-long event where each week we take a team of WikiTreeers takes on a genealogy guest star's tree and makes it more accurate and complete than it is anywhere else. For instance, this past week we've been working on Dallan's tree, and next week, starting pretty much after maybe people are working right now, we're Ellen's tree. We're going to try to break some brick walls, make it more accurate and more complete. And this challenge is part of our year of accuracy, where our goal is to improve our overall accuracy on WikiTree, make more connections, and make friends. And we've been making friends every week, and it's been great.
It has.
So we will dive into get some stuff started there with all of the goodies.
And let's go ahead and talk a little bit about how we collaborate. This is a community effort. A lot of teamwork going on. We have a spreadsheet you see on the left, and that's for people to mark down the profile they're working on. When you wind up with 40 or so genealogists researching at the same time, you need that. So we're not all doing the same person. On the right, you'll see a post. The G2G post is where we go and put interesting facts. We put bounty points and any questions that we might have for somebody. And then we also have Discord. Now, Discord gets hopping. We get talking in there. It stays pretty active. That's our live chat. And, you know, if you can use Discord to join in, I really do recommend it because we keep each other motivated. You have people that can answer questions, you know, any time of day or night. This is a global site. There's people from everybody. We do have a point system. Now, that's not the only reason we're doing it, but to keep people motivated, we do give points. So for every brick wall that's broken down, we give 10 points per parent on that line. And then we add additional points for any ancestors, nuclear relatives. So if you're adding children, adding siblings, we like to take that whole family approach where you're looking at everyone and we add those in, and you'll see more on who got the high points this week soon.
I think that is the next slide, Mindy. So our top 5. Are we ready to say our top
Yes.
5? Let's go.
Woohoo! And that's going to be Maddie Hartman took our #1 place again. Maddie just gets in there, and I tell you what, WikiTree's addictive to all of us, but she has been in there every week working on this. We also had Joan Whitaker, Dieter Lieberens, Emma Macbeth, of course, and then me. We were in top 5.
And
Yeah,
the scores just refreshed, so you'll see that I'm now in 3rd. Just had to say that.
we'll go look at our stats page. And actually Joan actually was the one who broke the most brick walls. While Maddie was our MVP, Joan actually got more bounty points.
She was our biggest bounty hunter.
Mm-hmm. She went after to get those big points. So these were our overall points for the week, which I think we did awesome. Dallan, you're going to be really impressed.
We really did. And, if you want a breakdown of that, total points, now that's combining both those bounty points and those individual points we give. There were 1,202 points given out. 258 of those were created ancestors. That means direct ancestors on your various lines. I'm telling you, this week, we just keep beating record after record. Now, for the nuclear relatives, the siblings, the children, 534 profiles were added. For bounty points, 410. Record breaker, go team. You guys were awesome this week.
Which means 41 brick walls broken.
Yes. And then 1,288 unique profiles worked on, which is just incredible. I mean, just watching this community do this during a week is so great. And for total edits, so every time we add a record or we change a name or we do something that's called a contribution or an edit, we did 6,061 in 1 week on that branch. So, hey, you guys did awesome.
It always makes me so proud. Everybody did such a great job.
Yes, they did.
Now we have what we kind of started with. We were working on each great-grandparent, kind of working. Some people would work on one of those lines. And we'll show you what we've found. So we'll start with, and Emma will start. Well, Emma will take it away since she was your captain.
So this is the Quass line, and we had a new mom added to Elizabeth Gensch. I'm going to mispronounce all these names because I don't speak German, and was Elizabeth Suxel. Does that sound right? A shout out to Dieter, who I was going back and forth with points on. He did a lot of work on the German profiles, finding the actual baptism records, translating records. I mean, he just did some amazing work and broke down some brick walls for us.
Wow, that's cool.
And then this is on the Nels line. So we have a new father for Christian Brunko.
Who was Christian Brunko?
Well, he was Emma Nels, second great grandfather. Well, we have a new second great grandfather.
Two new second great grandfathers.
Oh, two. We have yes. On the same line.
That's cool.
So those were our German records. So that was probably Dieter who was working on
Prussian. It's like
Prussian.
Mm-hmm.
What's next? And then this is the this is our English branch, and we had some great people in England who knew English records extremely well, knew where to find baptism records, knew how to find the family clusters, which is really important because when you find the family as a whole, it helps you work your way backwards. And they were breaking down all sorts of English brick walls. So we have a whole cluster here. I believe Chris was the one who broke down this brick wall. And we have not just a new set of parents, but we have a set of grandparents on both sides there.
Wow.
That's exciting.
That's so cool.
Oh, I think one of those a correction, Mindy,
On the cloud line?
on the Littler. I'd have to look at
Oh, yeah,
On
the wife.
the Littlers.
The wife was
Yeah.
Thomas Littler's wife.
was the correction.
Mary Clow.
Oh, okay. So that's the correction right there, Elizabeth Sigley. So we have a new mother added there. So we have a huge section there where we broke down some brick walls. That's exciting.
And then were those the parents for Elizabeth? Were those new as well, or were they already there and then we?
No, those are new as well. But because of the way the point system works, you only get credit one time for each branch. So that's why Elizabeth is highlighted. So
you technically got Elizabeth's parents too are new as well.
Those are new as well.
They're new. They're just not bounty points.
Yeah.
If they have an ancestor that's closer that you've gotten bounty points for.
So that entire section right there is pretty much all brand new.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that is really neat.
And that goes all the way back to 1770s England. Is that true?
Yeah, the William Littler,
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Awesome.
Wonderful.
So this is the Greenlee line. So of course we're in England still. And we have a new mom for Thomas Reveley, and that was Jane Dunn.
Huh?
Very cool.
Apparently they had many children together.
And he was a farmer.
Oh, oopsies.
But don't worry, Dallan, they're not all farmers.
I'm amazed
screen
that you're able to find
flash forward. So this wasn't necessarily a new ancestor, it was just one of our interesting finds that we found out about William Pashby.
Yeah, I think this is on the Greenlee line as well.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. He had 3 sets of twins, 14 children at least, a greyhound dog breeder, and lived to be 94 years old. So
Incredible.
Yeah.
Was he? It says he was a twin.
had at least 14 children. Oh, so I just snipped this. It's just the sticker that probably was on all of his children.
Yeah, that's a lot of twins.
That poor woman who had 3 sets of twins.
Yeah. Both of them. Yeah.
Because that was back in the day where probably,
There
they
weren't
had
epidural shots.
Yeah, or being able to cut the babies out either.
C-sections. No.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This was also the Greenlee line.
Okay.
The Thomas Boynton and Mary Hodgson found for Mary Boynton, also England.
In the 1600s.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Who was this? Was this Joan Emma or?
I'd have to check.
I mean, if not Joan, somebody else in our England project who probably is in our England project.
It wasn't Joan.
No?
Nope, not on this one. Let me check. But you'll notice there's not just a set of parents there. There's an additional
Grandparent
as well.
Mm-hmm.
This is Elizabeth Viney who got this brick wall.
Oh.
Nice.
Go Elizabeth.
Yeah,
we had several people in England breaking down the brick walls.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have an awesome England project on WikiTree, and they're all just wonderful. So another Greenlee.
Another English brick wall. It was broken down, and there was a change in the spelling of the name based on the baptism and the marriage records.
And then the wife, Mary, we added a whole bunch of more ancestors to her as well.
Oh, wow. I
Not
didn't
just
know
her.
that.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know if they were probably already existing on WikiTree and we just connect. I'm not sure how that happened, but she got 4 more generations added, at least on the paternal line.
It's probably a case where the christening records were available and they often only listed the father and didn't, or they listed the mother but without a last name. So that's probably why you see just the fathers going up the way.
All the way to 1610. Man.
Wow.
I'm just amazed.
Awesome.
Much less do it in a week. This is incredible.
And
I know.
Emma's going to go ahead and send you all this stuff too, so you don't have to like try and take notes or remember it all because it's a lot.
Yeah.
We still have more, so don't. There's still more.
We're not even to mom's side yet. Well, this is the Sprigs line, and you'll see the DNA flags popping up, and we'll talk about those at the end. But this is the Sprigs line, and we have a new set of parents for Mary Essex, and that takes us to early 1700s.
Mm-hmm.
And where is this? This is Northampton.
Yeah, still England. Got lots of England. Oh my goodness, lots of England brick walls.
Yep.
And another set of parents for Elizabeth Peach, and I think those may have been a correction as well on that one.
Mm-hmm. I like the last
was
name Peach.
The father was a correction and the mother was new.
Okay.
Okay. And I guess we also, it looks like there's another, the little blue arrow you see there, that means there is a father for John. So there's another ancestor there too.
A lot of times what happened, the reason there were some corrections is there might have been more than one John Peach, and the wrong John Peach was attached to the family. And after the entire family was researched by the researcher and they got to know the families, they were then able to separate them out and figure out the right one. That happened multiple times in the work this week.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Especially in England, we have these common names.
John.
Yeah.
John.
Yeah.
John, the son of John. It goes back several generations here.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then another one on this line.
And we're still on the Sprigs line, and we have a new set of parents for Henry Coleman.
Who was Henry Coleman?
Well, he was John William Spriggs' great-grandfather. I know who John Spriggs is.
Yep. Nice.
And now we're on to to your mom's side of the family with the Norwegians, and I'm not sure where this starts. I guess on the Christensen line. I'm not sure, but we have an entire new set of people because there was, I think this was a correction, wasn't it, Mindy?
These were new parents for Margrethe. Are we on that one yet?
Yeah, that's where we are.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes, those were new parents for her, and there were 12 new ancestors added on that line. The sketch of the church that you see, once you click on that, it shows up on the profiles for the people that were baptized. You had several ancestors that had their kids all baptized there, that got married there, and they're all linked to that page. So that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to give a big shout out to all the Norwegian researchers who are helping us throughout the week. We would go out and post in G2G and say, I need a baptism record, or can someone please transcribe this for me? It's some of the writing was so old you couldn't read the names even. Mm-hmm. And they were fabulous. They went out and found things, the actual records, and gave us links, and they helped us break down all sorts of brick walls. So big thank you to them.
Yeah. I know there was a lot of work done on the Norwegian naming conventions this week too, which I can just, it just kind of blows me away because, not everybody has the same last name because, they were named the first name of their fathers and then that was their last name, like Eric's daughter. So
we had to do a lot of corrections because a lot of people, when they create records, don't realize that the patronymic system is in place, and so they would give like their father's last name as the last name, and that's not correct. So there were some corrections that we made, and sometimes the records the spellings are different, and we might see 5 different spellings. So we spent a lot of time being very careful to try to find the correct spellings.
Thank you.
Mindy?
Yes.
Mindy, we had a question. Where is that church?
It's in Fett. It's in Akershus, Norway.
Oh yeah, where Marguerite, where if you see here where she was
Right.
born fit. However you say all of that, that's where the church is.
Oh, this is the Westby line, isn't it? I believe.
Then we have some more Norway, some other corrections.
So this is one I worked on, and this was thanks to help from our Norwegian helpers in G2G. We got a corrected father. It was Johan Olsen before, but it was the wrong Johan Olsen, and some people had attributed his wife as the mother for Carrie, and it was actually a woman before he married that was her mom, and she died really young. So we would not have been able to figure this out if we hadn't had the Norwegian researchers helping us ferret out the information.
Because
Right,
that
and
can be Go ahead, Mindy.
I was just going to say, and not only do we have the live chat, like I said, but what other site can you go to? And you can just hop out on the G2G and go, I need to know what this means in this record, or I don't understand this part. And, 2 or 3 people come back and just answer you.
Mm-hmm.
And
we're really relying on that.
You end up with more information than you even expected, which is so exciting.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't expect to find this corrected mother the way that they discovered it. It was really exciting.
Yeah, because I was going to say it probably would be confusing because the mother has the same last name as the daughter because probably her father was Johan.
Exactly.
So,
I'm especially grateful for all the corrections. This is wonderful.
Yeah, I'm sure all the bios are written and well sourced as well. That's part of our year of accuracy.
We spent a lot of time being very careful with the records and making sure we had the right records for each person. And hopefully there will be lots of research notes on all the profiles.
Mm-hmm.
Is this the one you did, Mindy?
No, I didn't work on that one.
Oh, okay. Maybe this was Maddie. I can't remember who broke down this one, but we have a new set of parents. I want to say it was either Maddie or Marina, who I believe found the original records over at Digital Archives and was able to get another generation added on there.
Okay.
Well,
that's cool.
And then, so that was all your new ancestors, and this is the beautiful fan chart that Mindy likes to make for us.
This is impressive, I gotta say.
Yes,
Actually, that's not all the ancestors. That's just the ones up until we made the slideshows. We have quite a few more.
So there's more for you to look at, Dallan. After I hope you can stay awake.
Yeah.
After the slideshow, after the live cast.
It's going to take you a while to go through all of this.
It looks like it will. Yeah, it's going to spill over into tomorrow. That's really amazing.
So do you want to explain this chart, Mindy? The B's are all the potential brick walls that we did break?
The yellow spots that are filled in, every one of those is an available brick wall that somebody could focus on and build the line out so that they could hopefully work on it. The B's and C's where they just kind of look like dots, you'll get the actual chart where you can zoom in and look at all the names and dates and what they are. Any of the B's are brick walls that we broke down. Every one of the C's are correction. So basically everywhere you see those on that fan chart, one of our wonderful team members broke through something and got it fixed. The 2 light blue lines, those were just ones that were prepped up. It looked like we were going to be super close to breaking through on those. But once again, like Emma said, we tried to leave research notes on the ones that we could. So you've got breadcrumbs to work with later.
Terrific.
And that you have a lot to look at, Dallan.
I do. Yeah. That's really amazing.
Sarah, are you able to show the family tree view of his tree real quick?
Of starting with Dallan? Or
the family tree view, yeah.
Okay.
I like to look at all the DNA confirmation flags.
Yes, we can definitely look at that.
Yeah,
yeah, you did it. Though pretty much got all of them.
Almost. Thankfully, both his parents had tested, which gives
sorry, I'm not showing it. I forget. I don't. There we go.
With this next generation. So we were able to confirm everything except that one little spot down at the bottom.
Mhm.
And actually, because of the Norwegian, I didn't expect to get, and German, I didn't expect to get this much done. So this was exciting that all of this is confirmed with DNA.
That's
Really cool, Emma.
Yeah, thanks, Emma. That's incredible.
Super awesome.
Thanks to your parents for letting me do their.
Mhm. And then we had a free space page that we had somebody, it was a last will and testament of Henry Sauer. So just an example of not just a profile page that we work on, but a free space page where they transcribe the last will and testament of one of your ancestors.
Okay.
So
Yeah, and that one was really cool. There was a disagreement over 80 acres of land, and Charles Sauer, which was Emma's brother, had agreed to pay his father $200 for the land, and then there was dispute between the descendants over what was still due and what hadn't been paid. So it was just kind of fun, and the profiles that are mentioned for the people that are mentioned in the will are actually linked there. So when you go through and you read that will, you can actually link to that profile and see who that person is.
That's cool.
and potential new profiles to be made that are in bold. So yes. And then we also have a free space page for each week, which we put our interesting finds and any pictures, our free space pages, potential sources we find. So we kind of do this for each week too.
Okay.
Yeah. I think everybody did a great job. Was there any? Did anybody have any questions for Dallan? Or do you have any questions for us, or remarks, comments?
I'm just completely amazed that you've been able to do this much in a week. I mean, especially going back that far, I wouldn't even know how to begin to do what you do. So thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
I wish we had more than a week because I know there's more records, especially on the Norwegian side. We could keep going.
Mm-hmm.
It's the beauty of WikiTree that we have all of these different people, genealogists from all over the world that collaborate together, and it's free. So I think it's awesome.
Yeah,
so
you can really see the power of WikiTree in this. It's amazing. I mean, I knew it was cool, but I didn't realize it was this cool.
We're making a believer out of them.
Yep, that's for sure. This is really
Mindy, somebody's asking about the fence story.
Oh, the way, yeah. I mean, you didn't talk about the one about the property.
Where
the guy had fenced the property in.
Do you have that?
Oh, that was Jason.
I think it's actually here on the. I think
Slides?
it's here on the.
Yeah. It's on
Okay,
the
so
interesting finds.
Jacob Christopher Nels was sued over the ownership of a fence. He had agreed to split with the previous neighbor when enclosing his property. Jacob lost the lawsuit and was forced to share the fence with the new property owner next to him, Charles Cray.
It was kind of funny because they actually had this whole detailed thing about how he had worked out with a prior landowner that he wanted to fence his property in, and that they were going to split the fence, basically the cost of it, and they agreed where this fence was going to be. And then the neighbor sold the land, and Jacob said, well, no, I'm not paying him for half that fence. He doesn't get to own half that fence. It's on my property. Look at the property lines. We love shitty stories like that.
Oh, squabbles over property. Such a good
Awesome.
time. And I think that would be it for Dallan's week, unless Awen, was there any other questions that we had in the chat? I didn't know if
They're just all really impressed by what happened. They just keep saying, "Well, it's amazing, good job, way to go, Norwegian researchers rock." They do.
Woo!
Yep.
Awesome. So proud of everyone, and thank you, Dallan, for letting us work on your tree.
Well, thank you. I really sincerely appreciate it. This is amazing.
Lizzie says she gets emotional every week by watching because WikiTree is amazing and it blows her mind. And I think we have blown most of our guest stars' minds each week.
Sure.
Definitely.
I hope Ellen is ready for her mind to be blown.
I am so ready.
So ready. So I guess we will, unless there's any other final anything for Dallan, we will probably hop over and start talking about Ellen and what she will be looking forward to in the coming week. So we have Ellen. Who is Ellen? Who is she?
Can I tell you?
I would love.
I'm excited because I've met Ellen a couple times, and Ellen is awesome. So Ellen has had a deep interest in genealogy since her teenage years. She's a member of the Association of Professional Genealogists. She loves genealogy, genetic genealogy, and old photos. She's a member of the Alberta Genealogical Society, a co-chair of the DNA Special Interest Group. She is a senior ambassador for a company called Forever. They're a complete memory keeping solution. So they do like media conversion, storage, printing, all those kinds of things. She's the owner of an online store called Shop the Hound, which you haven't gone and looked at, you should, because it's just got all kinds of really funky and awesome and genealogy related things. And she is one of the people who generously donates prizes for our Source-a-thon every year.
Yay!
It's my pleasure.
Did we cover everything, Ellen? Was there anything that we missed? Or
yeah, no, you covered pretty much everything. I'm surprised.
Got everything. She does a lot.
She does.
She's great, and we're looking forward to working on her week.
I am looking forward to it too.
So we have this is her starting tree. So and there's I don't think, at least for the guest stars we've had so far, there's a gap there, which I'm excited to see if we can break. So,
I have a lot of brick walls.
Well, we are so looking forward to working on them. But what got you interested in genealogy to start with?
I guess it was family stories. My dad my dad and mom would tell so many stories at the dinner table, and just got me interested in these people. And so then you start wanting to find out whether some of the stories are true, because some of them are a little bit, and of course at that time I was watching Roots and like many people were, and I interviewed my great-grandmother, and I wrote down all the answers that she gave me and started working on it. But then, you start having babies and things, life gets in the way, and I didn't do much, and then put it aside, and then started up about 15 or 18 years ago. I don't know. I do it 24/7. I say, if I'm up, I'm doing genealogy.
Nice.
So
The only time you're not doing genealogy is if you're asleep.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm probably dreaming about it.
So who is your favorite ancestor?
I don't know. Well, the one I write about a lot, and if anybody follows my blog, it's called Hound on the Hunt. I write about Willie Beaton, or William Beaton. He was my great-grandfather, and he was an orphan or an adoptee, and so I always try and figure out who his parents are, because I can't get any further back than him. So I write about him a lot. I write about Jesse Vincent. He was a second cousin, first cousins 2 times removed, and he actually died of the Spanish flu in 1918. And so he survived the war and all these things, and then came home and died of the flu. So I thought that was sad, because he was only like 20 years old.
That's
in his
sad.
20s. Yeah. So
We actually have, at least on WikiTree, William Beaton as unknown as a last name.
Well, because so his name is Beaton. He lives with a family named Beaton, and his sister lives down the way, and she's living with a family named Batten. And I know through DNA that they were brother and sister, because I've matched to them, but we don't match the people that were the Beatons. So I don't know. I mean, I keep trying to figure out what is the name I'm looking for. I think I kind of know. I've gotten closer and closer through DNA. So, yeah.
Well, maybe I know Emma is gonna be helping with your DNA stuff, and maybe who knows? Maybe somebody can figure.
Well,
I mean,
that'd be
the power
cool.
of WikiTree.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
I mean, I spent a month in Kingston, Ontario, looking for records to try and find orphan records, or I thought maybe they might be home children and that kind of thing. And yeah, so I'm stumped. So a fresh set of eyes would be great.
do you have any besides? I think the fact of these two siblings living with different families. Do you have any other interesting stories to share about your family? Well, probably a lot, but maybe any favorite ones, stories.
Well, so in previous episodes, I've heard you guys talking about interesting ancestors. I have one that's I come from a long line of fishmongers out of Sussex in Brighton, and so that's when I went to England. My cousin was like, "Oh, we're a long line of fishmongers," and I didn't even really know what a fishmonger was. But anyways, Noah Clark, who is one of my great uncles, he actually had a fleet of fishing boats, and he also was the founder of the Albion and Hove football team in Brighton. So he's kind of interesting. So
is Noah Clark related to Alice Clark, one of your ancestors?
Yeah.
Okay.
That would be her uncle.
Okay.
And Ellen, when did you first discover WikiTree?
I discovered it through Mags. I met Mags a few years ago, and of course she's always, talking about WikiTree and kept encouraging me to put my tree, and I kept, trying to find time. That's the problem, I think Dear Myrtle was saying that the other day about finding time. So I finally did find some time, but it's more of a twig rather than a tree. I do most of my work a lot of it on Ancestry and that, but yeah. So I'm really interested to see, what I got right and what I got wrong. So.
Okay.
And then and when you're talking about brick walls, I have tons of them. Because
that was my next question. Took it out of my mouth.
So I have Willie Beaton, and then on my dad's side, my grandfather was illegitimate, and so he actually had a delayed birth registration. He took the name of his stepfather, and I did find a birth registration, and his father was listed as Godfrey Myrtle, and he was a stonemason, so of course he's my brick wall. And so anyways, I thought, hallelujah, this is going to be easy, but I can't find Godfrey Myrtle. I think it must be Martel or something like that, because my dad has a lot of French DNA, so I have that. And there were stories about on the Middleborough side, and there was talk of a brewery. So I could never find, there is a Middleborough brewery, but I can't find a connection to that. So.
Now, we know you want brick walls down, and you do definitely have some big ones, but what other things would you like to see come out of this challenge? I mean, locations you want more information on, occupations? Give us hints.
Well, like I guess it's a brick wall too. John Henry, who is one of my great grandfathers, when he passed away, his wife disappears. I don't know where she ever ended up. I can't find her. I can't find her marrying somebody else, so I don't know. Yeah, there's so many stories. I don't know.
Well, they all have stories, don't they? It's just a matter of finding them and plugging them in, making them a complete, not just dates and names, full. Adding color, like Mags likes to say, adding color to the profile.
I mean, and that's kind of where when I got started. I remember going to my first class. I was getting ready to go to a class for taking for genealogy, and I started looking for my great-grandfather Jesse Oliver, and finding him in the census, and finding out that he was a plumber, and I just thought, wow, he suddenly became a person. He wasn't just the name and the date and that kind of thing. And I mean, one of my sons is named after him because my great-grandmother used to talk about him with such love, and he was such a fantastic man. I thought, if my son could be anything like that, that would be perfect.
That's really cool.
That's
awesome.
Yeah.
So do we have? I don't know, Ellen. Do you have any questions for us, or do we have any? Or Lucy, do you have any questions for Ellen as the captain for her week? Do we have any questions in the chat?
No questions, but Victoria Jane said she had a similar story to Ellen's grandfather. Her dad was illegitimate and adopted by his stepfather. So, common ground.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the family story was that when my dad or my grandfather was going to get his, I think it must have been his pension or something, he just got a delayed birth registration. He'd gone to a lawyer and said, what should I do? My mother's name is Shannon, and I should be a Shannon. And the lawyer told him, and now whether this is true or not, but the lawyer told him well, you've always been a Thompson, so just be a Thompson. So that's why he's registered as Thompson. But according to his original birth registration, which you can find, so he's registered twice, and he was supposed to be Harold Alfred Myrtle. So thank goodness. Nothing against anybody named Myrtle. Sorry, but Ellen Myrtle just doesn't sort of seem right.
Yeah, thinking if that name would have been there, you would have been.
That's exactly right. Yeah. So
it's always interesting, the circumstances of our ancestors, which leads to where we are.
Well, and you wonder whether some of those stories are just made up or
true.
If that's actually true, right?
Mm-hmm. So. I know I have debunked many stories that my grandparents told my mom.
Yeah. Well, and then on the German side of my family, that would be on my mother's side, the Cotman side, they used to always say that it wouldn't be my great grandmother, but my great great grandmother. They said that she came from well, not royalty, but maybe richer people, and that she didn't know how to look after the house or anything because she was used to having servants. So I don't know if that's true or not. So I haven't really done that much of my German ancestry because I don't speak German and I don't read German. Frank has been, I don't see his name today, but Frank has sent me a few things, little teasers in the last week.
Yeah, we have Dieter and Frank who will probably dive into your German side.
Yeah, so it's really, because he sent me one, I think it's my 2 times great grandfather, and he was a musician, and I thought I didn't know that. So
pretty awesome.
Yeah, we have lots of things to uncover, potential brick walls, some stories to find. Lucy, did you have any questions, or are you good?
Not really. It seems like there's going to be a lot of work to be done. Anything you want to do, it's going to be available.
It'll be wide open.
Right?
Yeah,
you're up for it, Lucy.
Mm-hmm. I mean, as you saw, Ellen, with Dallan's week, how much we unveiled and discovered in 1 week. Only
41 brick walls. Holy.
Yeah. So.
Wow.
So.
And Ellen, I'll get in contact with you about the 2 unknowns that we'll be using the DNA to see if we can figure that out. I'm very excited. I hope maybe my fresh eyes can help you with that.
Well, that'd be great. I mean, I've tested literally everybody in my family. All of my mother's siblings that are still alive, I've tested. All of any children, if they're not alive, then I tested the children. Second cousins, you name it. My kids are not getting an inheritance. I've spent it all on DNA.
The same way.
They know that.
That's awesome.
Their inheritance is knowing where they came from. So.
Yeah, their genealogy and their DNA. Yeah, that's it.
Well, that's awesome. Well, I don't think we have any more questions. So unless there's any last comments, remarks, anything at all, we
You guys
might.
do fabulous stuff. This is great.
Yeah. Yeah, we're really excited to start working on your week, Ellen. I'm sure
They're already going.
We might already have points.
They're
I'm
already
sure. And thank you, Dallan, for letting us work on your tree. It was great. I know everybody had such a great time.
It was a lot of fun.
Thank you.
Thank you, Emma, and thank you, Lucy. Thank you, everybody who's watching. And don't forget, you can check us out at wikitree.com. And maybe if you want to help participate in April, registration is still open until tomorrow.
Actually, until the 7th.
Till the 7th.
Till the 7th. So if you want to help us break brick walls for the upcoming weeks, if you want to take part, and you can do anything. You can write biographies, you can find sources. There's a lot of stuff you can do. So come check us out. And we will see you Friday for Friday date night, Saturday for our Saturday live cast, and then next Wednesday to reveal what we have found for Ellen. And who's on next week, Mindy? Who are we starting? My brain has blanked, but we are kicking off another guest star next Wednesday.
Tim Jansen.
Tim Jansen.
Tim Jansen. Yes, I knew it was in my brain. So, and that's it. It's been a great time. I hope everybody. I think it went wonderful, and thank you, everybody. Until next time, we will see you then.
Thanks.
Goodbye.
Great week.
Thank you.